It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my person. Hey guys, it's me, and today is actually Tuesday, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my, Wellness Wednesday video. I wanted to say Women Wednesday. I had several questions. I always get the same questions, but I had several lately, and I decided I would use those questions as kind of like a jumping off point for this video. See, in my mind, you all have been here the whole time, but then I realized I have a lot of new subscribers. Thank you so much. And you may not be familiar with what I eat, why I eat the way I do, and just some other questions. I have been I've got lots and lots of notes here. So let's start off with one of the questions. I'm not going to say your name because I didn't ask their permission. So if you recognize that it's you, thank you. This person says, Lisa, don't you ever crave other stuff like bread, nuts, sandwiches? Every day I want to start keto because I have stomach issues, which is under control with medication. And I think I'm not going to eat bread or rice for the rest of my life, and I just can't. So that's kind of like a multi-point question there. First of all, don't I ever crave other stuff like bread, nuts, and sandwiches? No, I don't. I do not crave other things. I look forward to every meal, and I love it like I did the first time I ate it. It is the neatest thing. It is so simple. It is just, I love it. So I definitely do not crave other things. I think that when you get off of sugar and processed carbs and everything like that, it just really goes away. Okay, the whole thing of thinking you're never going to eat bread or rice again. Okay, I can see your point there. And like last weekend, I went to my niece's birthday party, and I knew there was going to be cake there. And I remember a long time ago when I would eat low carb and lose weight, what I would do is I would just eat the cake, and I would just cheat, and then I would feel terrible. I would physically feel terrible because I usually would eat too much, and then I would mentally feel terrible and beat myself up over it the whole rest of the night and the next couple of days. When you keep on cheating like that, it also keeps that craving and that sugar craving up. So what I did when I knew I was going to the party is, for one thing, I'm just mentally different this time. There's no doubt in my mind. I have nightmares about cheating, about accidentally eating something. Like in my dreams, it's like I'll forget that I don't eat something, I'll eat it, and then I'm just, in your dreams it's so dramatic, and I'm just freaking out because I ate something and it's the end of the world. But I just have no want for anything like that anymore, and there's a couple of different facets to that. But so what I did before I went to that party is I ate dinner. I had, I think, a ribeye cooked on the grill like I usually do, and some shrimp, and I was comfortably full. So I ate dinner like at 5:30, and the party was like at 6:30, and I got to just walk up there, look at the cake, look at everybody eating. Will had cake, Brooke was working, John didn't have cake, but he's not a cake person, and actually brought Will home a couple of pieces of cake, and I never once missed it. I felt great when I got home. I felt great the next day, and it's just so worth it. I don't know. I think one of the keys is making sure you're full before you go anywhere, which I know this isn't really the answer to the question, but in answer to your question, to think about never having something like that again, don't think about that. Think about trying eating a new way, whether it's keto or carnivore or Mediterranean, however you're thinking that you might want to eat. Think about the fact that you are going to try it. You're going to try it, and you're going to do it exactly the way you should do it. You're not going to cheat. You're going to try it. You're going to do it 100%. That way you will know. It only takes a little while of eating a certain way to know, is it going to make me feel better? Is it going to make me feel worse? I would say don't think of it that way. I would say I'm going to try this, and I'm going to see how I feel. I'm going to just, I'm going to see if it works for me. I'm going to see if it makes my stomach issues better.
and I'm just going to see how it goes. That's how I would look at it. That's how I looked at it. When I set out to feel better, I didn't know that I was going to end up being, you know, just eating meat. I didn't know that that's how I would be. I wanted to just, you know, eliminate everything that made me feel bad. And then it just felt so good. I feel so good that when I started adding back in even those healthy, you know, vegetables, every time I tried something, and you guys were here, witness to a lot of that in my earlier videos, you know, I would try the avocado, I would try the cabbage, I would try butter lettuce, I would try simple little things one at a time. And if you have IBS, you know that it does not take, it only takes, I remember the next day I would feel fine and I was thinking, oh, I can eat this now. And then by that night or the next day, it would let me know that my stomach, my microbiome did not like that item, whatever it was. That gets me to another point that I kind of want to talk about before I get to the next question. And that is, when I say that I have IBS, I think I look at it as something that I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. So I have to be careful. But right now, at this moment, and for the last, I would say, probably 6 or 8 months, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. I feel the best I have felt ever. I mean, of course, I probably felt good when I was in my 20s, but I think I feel better now. I mean, I might not look better, but I feel better. I feel mentally clear, confident, you know, just happy, content. My physical body feels amazing, and I sleep. It's just, everything is just on right now. And so I know a lot of you were saying, oh, this or that that I'm doing or eating, you know, may trigger your or some people's, you know, IBS. But we all have different microbiome in our tummies. We all have different things. And what works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. Thinking, how can I explain this? And it's kind of like a while back, I did my hair a couple of times in a row in the sleeveless curls. And I had so many requests for me to show you how I did my hair. So I recorded a video, and I was just taken over with people telling me I was doing it wrong. I should watch so-and-so's video to see how to do it, and this, that, and the other thing. And it's kind of like you miss the point. What I'm showing you is how I got this hair. I wasn't saying there isn't a better way. I wasn't saying you couldn't do this or that or this or that. But when you ask me how I got this hair, this is how I got it. And that's kind of how it is with the way I eat. Now, I could just keep it all to myself, and I could just say, I'm too private to tell you what I eat. I could be shamed into not telling you that I only eat meat and I'm not eating vegetables, but I am very confident and secure in the way that I live my life. I realize I might not always be right, and I'm certainly not perfect, and that's okay with me. So when you ask me, Lisa, what are you eating? What are you doing? What are you doing to feel so good? What are you doing to lose weight? And I tell you, it might not be acceptable for you. It might not be what you've read. It might not be what you've heard. It might not work for you, but this is what I do. This is how I eat. This is what makes me happy. It makes me feel amazing. For those of you that ask me about my cholesterol, I'll link the video about my health report. My cholesterol is great. I used to have to be on iron. I don't have to take iron anymore. And I'm so glad I remembered this. A long time ago, you guys probably remember, John ordered these scales. When you step on it, you turn on your app, and it has like the little metal pieces on it, and you have to weigh with, of course, no shoes on. I weigh butt naked, and you wait for it to beep, and then it gives you all of your, you know, metrics. And I used to hate this thing, believe me. I used to hate this thing. Matter of fact, John had to reinstall the app on my phone because used to, I didn't want to see it. But he just redid it, and so every morning I just have to take this in the bathroom. I usually just put it on the floor. Here we go. So what you can do is first click your weight, and you can see that I'm on normal. Then click your BMI. I'm on normal. Then this is why I really wanted him to do this. I wanted to see what my body fat was. So 21%. So I'm in the fitness level. Okay, fat-free body weight, subcutaneous fat, I'm standard, visceral fat, I'm in the good. Let's see, muscle mass, normal, skeletal muscle, standard, body water, normal, BMR, that's the basal metabolic rate, that is above average. Then it tells your protein adequate, bone mass above average. And you guys know I've already had 2 bone scans, and I had osteo whatever. Then my metabolic age is 47, which I don't know about all that, but I just think this is really cool. And this is another way for you to monitor, you know, how you're feeling, how you're doing. Like I, you know, go to the doctor. It's kind of like I go to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned an extra time a year because I've always known I had extra like soft teeth. Well, now that I'm eating a different way, I just go to the doctor, you know, an extra time, and he takes my blood and all that stuff. So everything is great. My doctor report is great. That is great. And I feel great. So I feel good about sharing what I'm doing. But I want you to know, I depend on you to be an adult and do your homework and, you know, pay attention to your own body. You know, we can all just digest things differently. It's just like, I'm sure you've had a cat or a dog that can eat one thing, but one can't eat the other or something like that. Okay, so the next one I saved is, do you ever get tired of only eating meat? No, I don't. I just don't. It's good every time. I mean, I eat eggs, I eat steak, I eat shrimp. If my parents cook any other kind of seafood, you know, I might have some of that. I eat chicken, like last week we had chicken thighs, we had kielbasa, but if you've been with me, you know I ate a Zaxby's chicken salad every day. So I find comfort in a schedule. I find comfort in just knowing what I'm doing every day. So, you know, I just never get tired of eating meat. I never get tired of feeling good. You just never get tired of that, I promise. Okay, and then this one said, it was where I showed the 1 chicken thigh and the 1 piece of kielbasa. And it said, can you show us what you eat for breakfast and dinner? I'm doing keto and I want to get more food options. Okay, I am not eating breakfast right now. I'm not hungry. Like today, it is, what time? 12:03, and I haven't eaten. And I can't say that I'm not hungry, but I know I'm gonna go get something to eat after I do this video. So, okay, and then a lot of people said that me, you know, drinking Diet Coke or taking the supplements that I do, that is breaking my fast. I don't care. I'm not trying to lose any more weight. That works for me, and so that's just what I do. And like, kind of like with my hair, you wanted to know what I do, so I'm honestly showing you what I do. So if you don't think it's the right thing to do, then you shouldn't do it. Okay, and so as far as when I did eat breakfast, I would either eat eggs, and I like boiled eggs in the morning, and hey Chanel, and or I would eat, like, I would get the ham. It was called Tavern ham. sliced, and I would get either Havarti or white American cheese, and I would do like ham and cheese roll-ups. Not a whole piece of cheese. I would usually take the piece of cheese and either half it or do it in thirds, depending on how many pieces of ham I wanted to eat. And I would put some good pepper on it, and that's what I would eat. But now I think in the summer, I just don't crave breakfast as much. And then many of you asked me, was that all that I ate? When I showed you the plate with the one thigh and the one kielbasa, it's funny because I was just tearing that food up, and I remembered I wanted to take a picture. So I was like, oh, I meant to take a picture of this. And so my sweet mama went and got a clean plate, and we put a piece of kielbasa and a chicken thigh on it just to take the picture. But I had 2 chicken thighs, and I think I had 2 pieces of kielbasa, and it was delicious. Kielbasa cooked on the grill is so good because the skin gets real crispy almost, and it's just so good. So those are a few questions I just wanted to answer, and that kind of led me into, I always like to think about things and think about why I do things, think about why people ask questions, and just kind of, I want to tell you the best things. So I wrote down that when you do carnivore, and this is another thing, I know that carnivore is like a weird word and it sounds like animalistic. So another way of saying that, like I said, is the 0 carb diet. So if you're worried about what people are going to think, just tell them you're doing a 0 carb diet. Don't tell them anything. Tell them what you want, The reason I started this is I wanted to reset my gut biome. So I wanted to I knew that meat never upset my stomach. So that's what I wanted to do. And I've told you that I have since then, experimented and always gone back. So it also resets your immune system. And if you don't believe me, that's fine, but I want you to read about it. Read. This is something so cool to me. Okay, I'm sure you've all heard of ruminant animals. And it's one of those things that I kind of knew what it meant. I mean, I knew a cow was, but I really didn't exactly know. A ruminant animal, like a cow, like a bison, I'm trying to think of other animals, but anyway, you get the point. They have 4 stomachs. So when they eat the grass, and say you were to sit there and you were to give them kale, grass, avocado, or whatever, they have 4 stomachs. So those things that would irritate my stomach go through the cow and its 4 stomachs. So that cow is already processing those things that may be irritating to my system. And that just makes such perfect sense. This is something that I never thought of. You may already know this, but when I first started doing this, I made a big deal out of I had to have grass-fed this, grass-fed that, and I was going all over town. Then I was told that, Lisa, all cows are grass-fed. The difference is some cows are grass-fed all the way up until it's time for them to be on your table. The other cows are grass-fed and then they're finished. And that is when they are fed grain and other things to fatten them up. And that's why even if you look at a grass-fed steak versus a prime or regular steak, you will see the difference. It's a different color, there's different fats. I do think that you should eat grass-fed. I think that probably has the most nutrition in it. But the big thing is just eat the best that you can. Don't feel like you have to eat grass-fed in order to get any minerals, vitamins, and so forth, because all cows start off grass-fed. Okay, add seafood. No plant wants to be eaten. You need to study that. If you are someone who has IBS, has a stomach that cannot tolerate vegetables like mine, find out why. Study that. Find out what seeds are. Find out what a plant's defense is and study all of that. Okay. Oh, this was something I watched a long time ago. Probably not a long time ago. 2 months ago, probably. I don't know how I ended up on this, but I ended up watching some videos on Eskimos in the Inuit culture and what happened to their health when society started moving up there and when they started getting grocery stores, and what happened to their youth. There was like a doctor on there saying he did not even have the equipment to monitor cholesterol and heart disease until they started eating other foods. Now, granted, a lot of the foods that they would get at this grocery store were processed foods, because to get the food up there, it would cost a lot of money. So groceries are really expensive. So the youth would come down and families would come down and they would buy the cheapest things and the things that tasted so good. You know, they were used to eating all meat, and just the deterioration of their health, their teeth, everything. It is just so interesting. So that would be something good for you to just read up on if you're just thinking about doing that. Okay, I'm not even going to worry about the rest of the stuff I wrote down, because I think that you can go out and do your own reading and studying, and I think that's very important. And I think it's very important to know what works for me may not work for you, and you have to just find what works for you when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to IBS, when it comes to me having no joint pain anymore, none. And, you know, it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to do HRT. It's up to you when you want to take it or what kind you want to take. We're all on our own health journey. And I think, you know, we can share with each other, and I appreciate what you say. I don't know if I wouldn't be doing this, but I wouldn't have done it when I did if one of you didn't say, my husband has these issues that you do, and his doctor told him to eat nothing but meat. And I remember thinking that was so bizarre. And I love meat, and that was still bizarre to me. But it's not weird, because I'm just still eating the meat that I would have eaten. I might be eating more of it, but I'm just not eating the things that my body hates. And a lot of people ask me, well, where are you getting your vitamins? Where are you getting your minerals? You guys, we have been tricked into thinking meat is bad and that healthy fat is bad. It's not. And there are many vitamins in meat. There are minerals. Don't get hung up. I have a lot of people ask me about macros and things like that. Don't get hung up in that. Now, you know, someday down the line, my health report might not be good, or my health thing on there might not be good. And when it isn't good and when I don't feel good, then I'll make a change. Until then, I'm going to keep doing what makes me feel good. And I love sharing it with you, because I think keto and carnivore have helped so many people. Keto is just, and it's a joke. There are keto memes about, you know, when I was eating cheese puffs and ice cream, nobody said anything. Now that I'm eating a steak and shrimp, you know, everybody's worried about me. Yesterday in the McDonald's line, I was going through there just to get a drink, and I was on my way home from the beach, and the lady in front of me, oh gosh, I hope I still have it. Yeah, this is what she ordered, and I will put the screenshot up here. A large caramel frappe with extra caramel drizzle and large french fries. And it made me laugh, and I looked at her. To look at her, she did not look unhealthy. So she is walking through life with no one probably, you know, saying anything to her. But if I, who feel great, have a great doctor, you know, report, if I tell someone, oh, I don't eat carbs, I just eat meat, they automatically think that can't be healthy. And so it's really just, you know, we just have to start thinking differently. We've been made to think that we should eat 7 times a day, we should eat whole wheat, you know, we should do all of these things. And I just think I love it. I love to read and watch, you know, different podcasts or listen to podcasts, especially in the car. I even listen to some YouTube videos in the car about how nutritious meat is and what happened to our society in the 70s when meat and fat became the bad guy. And it's just so interesting. So I hope that I have at least sparked some interest, and I hope I've answered some of your questions. I think the question I get the most is, you don't eat any vegetables or fruit? Well, what do you snack on? And I don't eat any vegetables or fruit. I have 0 snacks, and I never get tired of what I'm eating, and I feel good every day. I want to share it without pushing it on you. And I just want to open your mind. So I hope this helped. I know it was like all over the place. I don't have on any special outfit because I got dressed at 6:30 and it wasn't cold outside, but for some reason I put on jeans. These are just my, the AG jeans. Hey, Kathy. And I'm wearing my Haviana wedge flip-flops and the Amazon bodysuit. I go get you. So that's it. And I don't even have a lot of jewelry on. I just put in my Lilu studs. I'm wearing my Michelle watch. And I still haven't had a chance to put my nails back on, but I do love my China glaze. So I hope that answers some of your questions, and I appreciate every single one of you. Leave any questions you have for me down below or on Instagram, and I will keep posting what I eat. I don't post it every night because I eat. My new thing are the thin ribeyes. I love the thin ribeyes. That's my favorite on the grill. But if you cannot cook on the grill, get your pan out and cook it up. It is so good. And you know, if you want to try to get some extra fat, put some butter on it. A lot of people do that. A lot of people put an egg on it. That's something I am going to try to start eating more eggs for dinner, since I'm not eating them in the morning, because eggs are very, very, very nutritious. Eggs have a lot of vitamins. And Brooke just came home. So thank you guys for watching, and leave any questions down below, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.